Alrighty. So, good morning, everyone, officially, and welcome to the November Life Mastery Series call. I'm so grateful you're all here. And this month's theme is Define Your Purpose. And we're diving deep into what it really means to live in alignment with your soul's unique design. Trish and I were talking before we got on. This is I think, such a pivotal topic that we're breaking into this week because it's something that's at the root of everything that we do about what is your purpose. So together we're going to get to explore what gives your life meaning. Not from like an obligation or a like an ambition necessarily, but from resonance. So, through guided reflections, we're going to learn how to distinguish between ego driven desires and soul directed callings. Like, how much better could we do? Today, we're going to be talking about how to recognize the energetic blueprint that's been guiding you all along, and through your passions, your challenges, and even your detours. So, by the end of the session, the goal is that you're going to have more clarity on the patterns that shape your path and the practical ways to live your purpose more fully in daily life. So, I thought I would start with a quick question that I'm going to throw out for the group today. How many people actually believe that they know what their purpose is and that they are living their life in alignment with the purpose that they are? Okay, wonderful. Um, for those of us that are not raising our hands, do you feel up to this point that you would even know how to go about finding what your purpose is? How many people feel like they know what it is, they just haven't done it? All right. So it looks like this is a topic that we are all going to really tune into because I now feel like I've found my purpose, but I got to tell you, I'm 58, ladies. It didn't come early in life. It really was something that I feel like I've just stumbled into over the last couple of years. So I'm so excited that we're working through this together. I am absolutely thrilled to be joined today by our guest coach, Trish Mangold. Trish is a holistic health practitioner and Harmonium's newly crowned director of health sciences. She's also the creator of the Mangold Method. I don't know how much you guys know about this. It's a 12-week transformational program where she helps clients heal from burnout and hormonal imbalance. And I think she's going to talk to us about some new stuff that she is bringing to the table today. So I'm so excited. Um, I have to say that Trish is maybe the most knowledgeable person in my life about health. She is my go-to resource for everything, and I just have benefited so much from Trish's guidance. So I highly recommend that, everybody reach out to Trish and utilize her amazing, immense capabilities. I know she's she has a bandwidth, she's got to try to figure it all in because every time I hear she's like, oh, I'm taking on a new client. I'm like, I don't know how you do it. Um, Trish, welcome. I would love to get a little inkling of what you are planning to share with us today.
Awesome. Hello, everyone. Delphine, this theme couldn't be more aligned with my soul's journey right now, which is so serendipitous. And for those of you who are like, the word purpose can be triggering. I know for me at first it was, and even I had the privilege of having a sneak peek of Delphine's kind of what she's going to walk us through today. So I myself went through it, and I don't know. Does anyone feel the word purpose is kind of triggering, or kind of, yeah? I think that it can feel triggering sometimes. So, I mean, as if we don't have a purpose, then if we haven't found it yet, we don't have a purpose. So I just want you to know that having curiosity and the very fact that you've shown up for yourself at this very moment in time is part of your soul's purpose. So we're already winning. And today I'm going to share with you what really sort of a transformational milestone in my life that aligned me with the strengths that helped me discover my own journey's self-purpose in life, in my relationships, in my career, and in my personal relationship to self. So that's what I can't wait to unpack with you later on in a little bit.
Woohoo. I feel like it's a Trish story I haven't heard before, so I'm excited. All right, ladies, I'm going to start by sharing my screen so I can walk you through a couple slides. Not that, this, and this. All right, is everybody seeing that? Nod your heads.
Yes.
Okay, great. Define your purpose. You're here for a reason, so let's name it. Um, So, as we kind of touched on, November is about remembering why you're here. And this word remembering is always a little bit stumbling for me because it's so outside of what we typically are conditioned to understand. Like, we believe that everything that is coming to us is something outside of ourselves and it's something that's coming at us from an outside source. So, when we talk about remembering, it's more of an inclination that we're taking information or knowledge from within ourselves or something that we've already had. And that is a huge shift in mindset. So, beyond the goals and the roles, our true purpose is the current of energy that moves through everything that we're doing so that we're fully aligned with our soul. The goal isn't to find your purpose, it's to embody it. So your daily actions naturally reflect the higher intention your spirit came here to address. So this we're going to start with just the whole concept that your purpose isn't something outside of you, you guys. It's something that we came into this lifetime with, and that through our experiences, we are uncovering and getting clues about what it is, that blueprint that we came here to fulfill, right? So most people search for a purpose like it's outside of ourselves. And we're actually doing something, obviously, something that we are remembering. Let's start by taking a breath together and letting this idea land that you're not finding your purpose, that you're going to remember it. So feel into that and feel that you have your purpose as something inside of yourself. And it's not hidden in your career. It's not hidden in a relationship. It's not hidden in a title. It's a frequency, who you already are. And every experience you've had, both the wins, the losses, the lessons, they have been quietly shaping you into the person who can embody this purpose, right? So I love that term, energetic blueprint, and you guys will see that this week that's going to be our theme for our frequency shift, is about aligning and embodying our energetic blueprint. So when you think about that term, it's almost like an architect, right? That goes in to build a house. But before you can build the house, you have to have an idea about what it is that you're creating. And that's what the energetic blueprint is. It's our soul's direction, our soul's, what our soul decided it wanted to achieve in this lifetime, and bringing that out through the experiences that we have in our life. So I want you to think of a time in your life when you felt completely aligned, when everything just flowed. What were you doing? Who were you being? That feeling is your purpose remembering itself. And we usually can all have those moments when you can think back about, when did I really feel like I was moving in flow state? When did I really feel like I was my best version of myself? And those typically tend to be little clues about what we're doing. All right. And the more that we embody this, you guys, the more that we're realizing that the challenges that we face in our life uh, are just mirrors reflecting back to us where we're in alignment and where we're not. So think of your purpose as your soul. Here we go again. I have to. Oh, sorry. Okay. Think of your purpose as your soul is in the nutrients that have been encoded into your soul. So it's like a seed that knows exactly that it's meant to what it's meant to grow into, but it takes sunlight, it takes water, it takes the nutrients of the soil to fully embody, fully express what it is here to do. So every challenge, every relationship has been part of the sunlight and the soil that's helping your seed to bloom, right? So that's kind of an easier kind of a visualization about it. So when you start seeing your life this way, even the hard moments begin to feel purposeful. They've all been guiding you towards your fullest expression. So now think back about a challenge that in hindsight shaped you for the better. What strength or wisdom grew from that experience? And this isn't something that we don't already know, you guys. I know we all know that this is what it is, but if we can start bringing this into the present moment, into our life right now, because there's nothing new under the sun. But when we approach something from a fresh perspective and with the new lens about where we are in our life right now, that's when it can really embed. I mean, um, Pamela and I were just talking about it, that sometimes you just hear something and it just hits you in a way that is just so clear, and you actually fully embody it for the first time. You might have heard it a million times, but sometimes it lands with you. So let's see if we can actually make this land with us right now, that every aspect, every single thing is shaping us and guiding us into the person that we are here to be. So what are the signs? Okay, the signs are what lights you up. The signs are your purpose gives you little clues, and they show up as joy, curiosity, excitement. The things that light you up are not random. It's your soul's compass of saying, this is your direction. So when I started Harmonium, I would wake up in the morning and I'd think about what I was going to be working on. And honestly, you guys, I just had like, I could just cry with joy. I was like, oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy to bring this to light. And I got to tell you, Mel knows more than anybody. It's been a freaking shit ton of work, but I don't feel like it's work because I just get so excited. I get so excited when I get an idea for a newsletter, and I like, sometimes I just need to, like, whatever I'm doing, I've just got to sit down and I've just got to write it out. I've got to outline it right then and there because I just feel so much excitement from it. I want to share, I want to express, I want to be in that moment of that joy. So that's kind of our little clues that we're on our way. And if you're wondering about, what is that? Think back to those times in your life. When did you feel the most joy? When did you feel the most love? And what were you doing in those moments? Or what were the things that were in your life at those times? Because therein lies the clues. So some of the examples that we're doing is if you're always loving, helping others feel for calm, or designing beauty, or organizing chaos, those are expressions of your essence. Purpose is felt before it is defined, right? So we got to, again, oh, look at it again. We got to look into our heart. Who knew? This heart is always the cue to everything. It's not our brains, as much as we'd like to make it always try to turn it into a thinking process. It's really a feeling process. It's when we expand our heart capacity, and our heart will be the guide of where we're going. So, maybe the listener is bringing healing and presence to people. Maybe the organizer is creating clarity and flow. Maybe the storyteller is awakening meaning in other people. So when you act on your excitement and you step into divine flow, this is when you're with your purpose. How many people out there are fans of Bashar? Does anybody listen to the works of Bashar? So Bashar is an entity that is channeled by a Daryl Anka, who randomly is Paul Anka's brother. Um, and Bashar has a process that he brings to how to navigate life. He really breaks it down into like, it's like 4 or 5 steps. And the number one way to navigate your life is by finding your excitement. In each moment, follow your excitement, follow your joy. And you guys, why is this so opposite of what we've been taught growing up? We weren't taught to tap into your intuition, to tap into your joy. We were taught to follow rules, to look for our direction outside of ourselves. Our parents are going to tell us what to do. Our teachers are going to tell us what to do. Our government's going to tell us what to do. Whatever you do, just make sure you pay your taxes. We've been always told that our direction was going to come from outside of ourselves. And so this is a new way of embodying our guidance. And it's through our heart center and it's through our intuition. So, how purpose evolves. Purpose isn't always loud or career based. It's the energy that moves through you, through everything that you do. So, this is something where we have to open our brains to the idea that it's something that's always flowing. We also want to try to claim and nail things down. This is my purpose. This is what it is. I'm going to put it in a box. I'm going to define it. I'm going to underline it and I'm going to put it in caps and then that's it. And then I'm going to carry that with me through our life. But purpose isn't fixed. As we evolve, it evolves. The teacher may later become a mentor. A healer may shift from the body to the mind or spirit. The essence, the why stays the same, but purpose is living frequency that expresses through different forms across our lifetime. If you think about the works of Jesus, you know, we have all heard the stories of Jesus where he came in as this little sprout to these parents, and then he went on his journey, and he was gone for years. Apparently, he was in the Middle East, is what I've heard. And then he came back. But if you even watched the whole process of Jesus, his life evolved and he became a different teacher throughout every stage to the people that he was around, to the experiences that he had. That's us too, you guys. We are walking, living embodiment of our purpose. And, you know, I know that there was a time in my life where I was raising 2 boys, and I got to tell you, that was my full purpose. I did it to the best of my ability. I put my full time and energy into it. It was the most difficult job I've had in my life, and it continues to be. But but it was still that loving, it was still that teaching, it was still that guiding. And now my purpose has evolved to where now I have a broader community, and now I'm giving and teaching and loving in a broader, different sense. But it's still the essence of what my purpose was, and I can see that so much more clearly now than I could before. So can you think of a way that your purpose has shifted forms over the years? How has the essence of who you are stayed the same, but how you expressed it is different, right? How is it different now? I was thinking about Ashley, who went into a beautiful career in physical nurturing, physical healing through the work that she did with her neuromuscular massage business. And now her life is evolving into a new direction, but it's still in nurturing. It's still in helping heal people. It's still, now she's got all of these ideas about how to transition her gifts into another offering. And I've been loving watching that happen. And happy birthday shout out to Ashley. It was her birthday yesterday. So happy birthday, honey. I can't wait to see all of the beautiful gifts that you bring to the world this year, because it's just so fun to watch. Okay, so the purpose of living frequency that grows within you. So you guys, here's a little idea. If we are working on really trying to uncover what that purpose is to make a practical soul map this week. So you draw a timeline of your life and you mark 5 moments that shaped you, both high and low. And next to each one, you note what it taught you. Okay, so you can do it in a journal form, you can do it in a drawing form, but step back and take a look at the patterns that you're seeing emerging here, because these are also clues, you guys. When you step back and you see the patterns, you can see the lessons about empowerment, healing, creativity, communication. These threads are the architecture of your purpose, right? So purpose isn't a goal to achieve, it's a vibration that we live in its form. Don't really give very much homework, but I think this would be something that we should all do and really just embody what that is and try to see the streams that have blown through our life, especially for those people who are saying, yeah, I'm ready to figure out what that is. A little mantra: my purpose is not something I chase, it's something I allow to unfold through me. And maybe sit with that in your meditation. That might be something that helps to guide us and bring in that sense of remembrance. All right, well, that's all I got. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and turn it over to little Miss Trish Mangold.
That was such a beautiful time. I'm going to give everyone a few moments. Are people like, are you jumping into that little exercise? Or do you feel something in your heart that's landed, where you can see some threads of strengths? Maybe it's one word, or would anyone care to add it in the chat and just put in some sort of something that came up for you? Or does anyone want to unmute and share? Are we still kind of working on it? Okay. Well, I'd like to take you through a little exercise, but before we do that, I had a little more time to work on this, and it takes a minute or two, right? Maybe longer. This is going to land with you in different ways, and it's maybe you're going to start drawing from it throughout as the day goes on or as the days come. And as coaches, often, we've worked with other people around these ideas and concepts, but maybe, we haven't reflected on them and are for ourselves, or we've turned our pain into our purpose and it's been reflected in our coaching. Does anyone relate to that? Yeah. Yeah, for me too. So while you reflect on that, I'm going to share a little bit about my personal story and then what words came up for me, because I had a bit of time and a few days to reflect on this before seeing this for the first time. And then I'm going to invite you to soften your gaze and turn within and see what's stirring for you. And then I'm going to end with a little poem. Sound good? Okay, I'm just reading in the chat here. Yeah, this is ever shifting. It's a key takeaway as our purpose organically shifts throughout different seasons of life. Absolutely. Yes, that's a beautiful reflection. And now it's softened in a good way. Yeah, beautiful. Thank you for sharing, Rachel. Christine. Okay. So purpose has been unfolding all along. And you might see that reflected in your work with others, in your relationships, how you show up in life, in the conversations you have with people. My journey started through infertility, and it's been one of my greatest teachers. The wisdom didn't come instantly. In the thick of it, it was tough. It was heart-wrenching. It was ups and downs, peaks and valleys. But the wisdom doesn't often come in that moment. It rarely does, in fact. And they say hindsight is 2020. And in my case, that couldn't have been more true. Can everyone hear me okay? Because I am outside. I know there's some noise around me. Okay, good. It took years before I could share my story publicly. Years of quiet healing, of sitting with vulnerability, um, radical acceptance, gratitude for my relationships, both with my intimate partner and also with my friends, originally going through it silently and then eventually having the strength and courage to talk about it with my close friends. And part of that is you'll see this unfolding of how I kind of came to have a deeper understanding of myself. The roller coaster that inherently comes along with this journey and finding peace through acceptance and trust. So the younger version of me, a big sister to a brother who was 9 years younger, simply assumed that, motherhood would unfold naturally. I wasn't really ever fixated on the how or the why. I just had this feeling that it would happen. And while my path looked differently than I once imagined, I've been blessed with two beautiful bonus children, my husband's girls, who've expanded my heart in ways that I couldn't have planned for. And I look forward to one day of having grandchildren, and in this profound yet different way of expression of family and legacy. And it's been through all of this that has led me to this very moment, sitting with you guys, and also your moment and your journey of finding us here collectively together. We have a deeper understanding of my purpose and how it's manifesting and how I serve, um, including my latest adventure in my Elevate Vitality coaching business, which is creating a community for couples that are walking the often isolating and lonely path towards parenthood. So in this moment, as we explore collectively, like this invitation to remember our soul's purpose is not something to be longing for or to be found. It's, as Delphine mentioned, it's continually evolving. But as we remember it and it takes self-reflection, and we learn it through the living of life experiences. It's been unfolding for you and with you all along. So right now, maybe you're thinking of a loved one who needs to hear this, or who could benefit from remembering that it's all part of the journey. And at first, it could, if you've never had that conversation with someone, or perhaps even with yourself, it can feel very foreign, and it could feel like resistance at first. And as coaches with our clients, or even here as peers in a harmonium, we approach the conversation to meet the other person where they're at. So we choose our words and the conversation and the tone depending on who we're talking to, right? But it comes with this remembering comes with maturity. So we might have children or younger people in our lives that it takes time to develop the wisdom and the skills and the compassion to have the self-reflection to find the threads of our strengths. Is this landing with you guys? Like, any questions so far? Anything coming up new? I'm going to check the chat box. Okay. So 5 things came up for me. But before I go into that, I want to share that it was a 6-year journey to have a baby, which involved IVF, it involved surrogacy, and ultimately ended without the outcome that we originally hoped for. But it taught me how to cultivate my strengths and rediscover who I came here to be, and more so than success could have ever have done for me. So these were the parts of the journey that my husband and I there were parts of the journey that my husband and I didn't relate to each other on. And that was okay, because as a woman, we process things differently. And the feelings around motherhood and identity, there's a lot to unpack there, and stuff that he couldn't relate to. We feel differently as men and women. And what I discovered was that I didn't have to go through it alone, and I needed my girlfriends. So with the prompts that Delphine walked us through, I had some time to reflect on these threads and see what was pivotal in shaping my life, to remember, who I was, who I wanted to be, and step into more of that as well. And I'm seeing that reflected in my vocation. It just so happens that my soul's purpose is really aligning with also how I show up for others and how I want to serve. So acknowledging the context, whatever those peaks and valleys were for you, and the threads that come out as you self-reflect, um, allowing acknowledging the context with acceptance, without fear or judgment, letting go of the shame, blame, guilt, and without the charge of judgment is so powerful. So I invite you now to take a few deep breaths and to maybe soften your gaze or close your eyes. Take some deep breaths of gratitude just for the moment of simply being here together and having this conversation. Let the words maybe that have started to stir within as you've reflected on your timeline, let these words land in your body and just let it grow wherever it is. Let it expand with each inhale. Maybe noticing any nuances or sensations in the body, again, without judgment, without any charge of good or bad. Letting the intention behind the words of the strength that you're cultivating and that you're acknowledging, letting the vibration of these words create energy and motion in your body. I invite you to take a pause and let it wash over you. Breathe it in and acknowledge what a privilege it is to be alive in this very moment. And whether whether you're personally in a peak or a valley right now or somewhere in between, keep your gaze soft and your eyes closed and be curious. Notice any sensations in your body. Take a few deep, expansive breaths and let whatever arises for you wash over you and amplify so bright that it cleanses away any roadblocks that are dimming your curiosity, courage, or your strength. Feeling the buzz of life hum between your cells, within your cells, to your extremities and beyond your being. This is what it feels like to remember why you came. With a sense of deep gratitude for our collective experiences that have brought us together in this very moment. Such a privilege and a miracle to acknowledge and appreciate each of our soul's journeys that have converged and aligned in this very divine moment. To trust the miracle, to know you're in the right place at the right time, and even when it doesn't feel like it, particularly when it doesn't feel like it, surrender with trust. Release the grip of holding and allow it to flow. Whatever has gotten you here today, celebrate you had the wisdom and courage, the curiosity to show up for yourself right here, right now. You've been fine-tuning the skills that you've needed to embody your soul, to embody your purpose, and to remember what it feels like to be who you came here to be. To love yourself so deeply that you become the source of everything that you are searching for. This is the sensation, what you're feeling right now. Maybe you're getting truth bumps. Maybe you're feeling the buzz in your fingertips. This is remembering why you came. Breathe it in, one deep, expansive inhale, and expand it beyond your being. Send it to your inner little girl. Smile and bring that playfulness, that curiosity, that childlike wonder with you right now. Embody that in your present being. And bring that to your daily conversations and your interactions. Bring that to how you want to show up in life for yourself and for others. I encourage you to bring your awareness back right now. And was there any sort of sensation or vibration or energy that may have came up or stirred within?
I literally felt chills from my entire body, head to toe, while you're speaking. So I know that Source was moving through me and through us in that moment. I'm so appreciative of that message, Trish. That's so beautiful. And it's just so powerful how the message just keeps coming back to go within, listen to that voice within, The information is inside of us. Open our hearts. It's so profound. It's so simple and yet so profound all at the same time.
Yeah, it really is. Coming back to that, coming within and then letting it vibrate and grow. It might be small and subtle at first, but breathing into it and allowing it to amplify. Would anyone else like to share? Okay.
I
Well,
have
I
a
appreciate.
question.
Yes.
First of all, I want to thank you so much for sharing your story, honey. I know that this is a very vulnerable place, and you know that you are amongst friends, and we love you, and so I appreciate that. I honor that your experience. I wonder, what did you learn about yourself? What was the
Mm,
takeaway that came out of your
yeah.
experience with infertility?
Well, you'll see I'm going to be tearing up, and it's not, it's certainly not sadness. It's just a release and being seen and heard and sharing. I think that's just the vulnerability came up for me, the resilience, the courage, community, trust. These are the things that came up for me. And yeah, that came up for me.
Mhm.
Community blossomed through my vulnerability. The courage and honesty to speak out to my close friends at the time going through this. Um, the friendships deepened because I let people in. And when I reached out to my close friends, I discovered that three of my girlfriends were going through their own IVF journey. And by sharing openly on my end, we allowed ourselves to be vulnerable together. We created a small but super powerful and much needed sacred circle of support. Um, and it was a reminder that we're not meant to navigate these life's challenges, in isolation. So I think we can all relate to this, especially as we sit here and come together in harmonium. It's a beautiful reminder of what we're creating now and how our sisterhood is growing. So I really appreciate all of you. And courage, courage is a common theme of the milestones that came up for me. First, to admit that I was struggling. Our journey didn't appear that, it was something that, you just thought you were going to do it and it was going to work. But to be okay with the vulnerability and, as a health coach at the time, even to the possibility of judgment that come in, and navigating infertility with the means and the way that we were able to do it. And I understand, not everyone has those kind of resources. And then to know that I reached out to my small circle of friends and I had three girlfriends going through the exact same thing at the same time. So it was just opening up and making a bridge there. And that's where I found support and healing. Um, so and now here I am on the tipping point of going public with my story, bringing this to the community of Elevate Vitality and in my coaching practice. So restoring trust, renewing hope, and creating the sacred space of connection that we have here in Harmonium and beyond. As our life purpose continues to evolve, we find new ways of shining and sharing our light and love. And through it all, the trust, as Delphine said earlier, life is unfolding through me and for me, not to me. So I'm not a victim of circumstance. And I've released the shame, blame, guilt, and fear over what ifs, what if I started earlier and all that. I feel very grateful with where I'm at and also for what's ahead. So trust was, unfolding for me in this timeline, and it's a word that of strength and that vulnerability. I don't see it as a weakness. I see it as an opportunity to be vulnerable and to build deeper connections with myself and with others.
Mhm.
Um, a knowingness, the knowingness that what's aligned with my soul's purpose and what can be. And resilience, I once had a client tell me that they were tired of being resilient, the resilient one, tired of being the one that had to be strong. And I understood, I could relate to that. I think we could all relate to that. But I see resilience as a little differently. To me, it's grit. It builds, to dust yourself off and try again. 6-year journey. And it didn't mean we just went through it once. Also to let go of control. It involved surrogacy and to let go of our hard earned embryo and to trust someone else to that amazing. I mean, trust is I don't even think trust is a big enough word for that. And to not let fear consume. So that was huge. But the beauty of it all, resilience isn't just about strength. It's about becoming. It's about learning to navigate peaks and valleys of life with grace. So not only the fertility journey itself, but everything in life when life throws a curveball. It's about having the courage to find your way when it feels dark. And it's about finding a way on your own terms, breaking the mold and removing the masks. There's many ways to have a family legacy and to feel that connection with the next generation. Breaking the mold to move forward beyond our programming, beyond expectations and attachments of outcomes, reimagining a way to, be connected to the next generation and build legacy. Breaking the mold beyond cultural conditioning, beyond expectations from parents or our family, maybe our loved husbands or wives, and even friendships and what people may expect from you in friendships. So with all of this, is anything coming up for anybody that you would like to share?
I wanna say, Trish, that I just feel your love so much. Like, it's just like emanating out of you. And that's what I was feeling the whole time. And you have so much love to give. And uh I feel also like talking about purpose, like you're speaking right now so much like it's just flowing. Whereas like like I don't know. Yeah, this is like the truest and freest I've seen you speak in out of all the podcasts and everything that you've done. And so I can totally say that this is your purpose and like the help that you're going to be able to give to couples that are going through the same thing you went through. It's very strong. So thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you, Mel. Appreciate you. I appreciate you saying that and sharing that. It takes a lot of courage to be able to throw myself out there and, blast it all over social media because it's coming.
Trish, I'd just like to say how proud of you I am because um, family has a lot of definitions, and the work that you're doing is you're like becoming family with the people that you're assisting, the people that they're not clients, it's like in a way, what I see is like they're your children that are dying through this, you know. So there's a lot of ways we can be maternal and mother other people. We don't have to give birth to them to be mothers.
Thank you. Yes. And I'm very grateful for the relationship that's evolved with my bonus children, my husband's girls. And, I look forward to where that takes us as their families grow. So, whew. Okay. All right.
One
So,
other thing I would love to bring up is your point about things not always happening as we expect it. We have this vision that we project and that things have to be a certain way, and that it's really our ability to open up and understand that things are going to flow the way they're going to flow, and let go of our need to control what that looks like. And the more that we can do that, the more that we can align ourselves with our purpose, because our purpose is something that is a flow state for us to get into, right? It's an energetic state of being. And the more that we try to control it by saying this is what it has to look like, or this is what it doesn't have to look like, the more that we can kind of detour ourselves off of what our purpose is. And the more that we just allow and just say, okay, this is what it is. So what is that inviting? This is what it is. So what opportunity does this bring to me? Is such a powerful perspective on life. And I so appreciate that thought, girl, because in what you went through, I can see how it would be super difficult to let go of that expectation or that vision. And the fact that you've now not only moved through it, but found a way to direct that energy into service is just, I mean, that's the highest form of love that there is. So I honor you, honey. What a beautiful, beautiful gift. And I'm so appreciative of that share.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, it feels really good. It feels really good. So, yeah, not being attached to the outcome, because sometimes, whether it's motherhood or whatever it is we're striving for, or longing for, or working towards, it's the journey. And we forget how to be in the journey. So remembering just to be is enough, and to show up every day with our best foot forward. I think these are important. So however, whatever it is that you're working on, or rediscovering, or remembering just to be in the moment is really important. And to listen to the whispers, and sometimes sit in the discomfort, because we don't grow and stretch. We don't learn in comfort zones. It takes discomfort to help us evolve and remember how great we can be. So remembering why we came, I invite you, there's a little poem here. And if you want to close your eyes or soften your gaze while I read these words, and just more than just the words themselves, allow the intention, the vibration to land, and see where it sits, and see where it might spark the curiosity. Take a deep breath. Feel your soul, really the weight of your soul. You know, I just came from a health conference yesterday here in Miami, and one of the things that was mentioned is when we die, we are always rebirthing and dying. Every moment and every second. You are not the same person that we just started this conversation with 51 minutes ago. You have rebirthed a trillion times. I think it's 50 million cells per second are rebirthing in your body. So it's an opportunity to create more of who you want to be and step into that soul alignment. So just one little note, that I think it was Patrick Porter, Dr. Porter was first on the stage when I landed at this, no coincidences. I landed at this conference yesterday. And one of his tidbits was, when we die, when we take our last breath, when we die from this meat suit experience, this human experience that we're having right now, 3/4 of a pound leaves our body. 3/4 of a pound. If you've ever bought deli meat, that's a lot. Or picked up, a 3/4 of a pound is a significant amount of weight. Let's see. There's a pumpkin here, but it's more than a pound. But just imagine what 3/4 of a pound is. That's a significant life force energy, and that's your soul. Your soul is eternal. It continues, it transmutes, it doesn't die. Our human experience in this body is what passes on, but our soul moves on, and it continues to evolve every iteration of what it takes, how it animates our human body. So here we go. I invite you to just allow the weight of your 3/4 of a pound of your life force energy to really sit into maybe your womb of creation. Breathe that in, breathe that beautiful 3/4 of a pound of energy into your creative life force, your womb of cultivation, of connection. And as we Again, just listen to the words I'm saying. So much, not so much the words that are defining them themselves, but how it lands and resonates and creates a ripple effect of energy in motion within. Nothing is random. Your blueprint is etched into your very existence, encoded in every breath, every heartbeat, every encounter and calling. You didn't come here to chase, you came here to be, to find joy and meaning in the miracle of being. There is no controlling life, only the courage to let it all in. Fear, fantasy, failure, success, each one a teacher, each one a thread in your beingness. In the art of letting go, releasing the need to know how, to know when, to know what, you step into the art of being. With every inhale, you stretch the boundaries of curiosity. You cannot possibly imagine the infinite beauty of experience that you can possibly have. Your goal is to remain curious. With every exhale, you let go of what doesn't align. It's in this romance of the dance where we breathe with curiosity, with childlike wonder. We dip our toes into what lights us up. This is how the soul remembers. Sink into this surrendering. Feel the earth ground you. Feel your roots of curiosity expand. Expand with the sky above you, feeling the buzz of life pulsing through you. With every inhale, you are living your soul's purpose. When you're ready, slowly bring your gaze back into the room, to the beautiful faces that have shown up, to the collective that we are, creating harmony with our soul's purpose.
That was so beautiful, Trish. Thank you so much.
Thank
So
you
I
all.
ask the group, do you have a different understanding of what purpose is after this call today? Do you maybe have
Even if you don't have a word to put to it yet, you might feel a shift within, feel a buzz, feel a vibration, feel a thread. Does anyone feel that? Yeah.
I actually started early this morning with little whispers, so this was just like perfect to continue on. So thank you. I'm always blessed with your presence and what you have to share.
Thank you for sharing, Rachel. Do you care to elaborate on your whispers?
So I've been trying to figure out different parts of me, and they like to come out somatically and they don't like to talk.
Okay.
I've been trying to be very, very patient, and this morning they just started to, to talk and say, I'm scared. And I said, okay, what about? And they just said, be patient. And I'm like, I can do that. And I'm reminded by a conversation I had with Christine last Friday, and the approach of my journey, which you will all learn eventually, has always been one of perseverance and one of being it with a warrior mentality, and that I need to embrace gentle. So I now embrace what I'm calling the gentle warrior, and that's developing.
Good. A good reminder to be gentle with ourselves, to be compassionate, and to trust the divine timing, to surrender with the flow. And maybe those feelings of, what was the word you used? It was scared.
Scared.
Yeah. And it's okay to be scared. That's part of our human experience. And to sit with that.
Just sitting with it and being curious.
Well, don't forget how closely related courage is to fear. Courage is fear walking.
There we go. That's beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you for that reminder.
One step at a time.
I saw in the chat too, we like the term truth bumps.
Yes. Yeah, when I feel, yeah, I definitely felt truth bumps several times throughout our. Yeah, lean into that with curiosity. Curiosity comes up a lot. Sometimes we don't need to know the what, why, how, when. Just be curious. Have the courage to stay curious.
And the divine timing of everything, and that, those truth bumps really do point to our purpose in that moment. Literally following the purpose throughout your day, not this huge vision, but just following the little baby steps. I feel that that's something that I've done the last few months, especially, and it's just made such a profound difference. Like, what is my purpose this afternoon, and just following that guidance, and it may be powerful, and it may be taking a nap, and it's all, whatever comes up, it's without judgment, is, so revealing when we just surrender to what it is in that moment. It's very freeing, and it keeps us aligned with our, with our soul's calling. And as they say, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plan, and he has a bigger plan for us than what we wanted, so as long as we follow that, we're going to benefit on every level.
Mm-hmm.
So will the world, because we're all doing work here for the collective, not just for ourselves.
Yeah, just the fact showing up. Thank you. Yeah. I think just showing up, and sometimes just the presence of being is the gift enough that we can give others, and just listening and sitting in the silence, in the acceptance.
So as an effort to wrap it up, I just want to thank you guys all so much for showing up here today, for your openness and your reflections and your willingness to explore who you are beneath all of the roles, the labels, the expectations. Remember that defining your purpose isn't about narrowing your path. It's about expanding into the essence of who you are already. And the more that you can live from that frequency, the more naturally life will align around you. And so as you move through this month, stay curious to what comes up, about the little things that make you feel alive, that make you feel connected. And that's your soul speaking, guiding you back to your center. Huge thanks to Trish for her beautiful share and bringing her deep wisdom to our conversation. Is there any closing words you have, Trish?
I want to thank you all for creating a space and a community for me to feel safe enough to share as well. And I'm reading some of your comments, and it hits deeply, and I thank you.
As a reminder, you guys, the masterclass is live. Module 1 is live in the introduction. So know that if you want to revisit some of this information, you can go to the masterclass that's in the community. Of course, we will make this recording available to you as well later this day. Also, go ahead and RSVP in the community. I try to send out the link. It's always the same link, so don't feel like you have to wait on me. It's always the same link. But if you RSVP for the November Masterclass theme, you will get notifications, email notifications with the link as well. So, and it'll also let you know when the replays are available. So it's a good idea to do that. And if there's somebody that you are interested in introducing to the community, typically we figure that these are kind of something that we make available to members, but we were talking that this is such a beautiful way to introduce people to what we do here in the community. So if you do have somebody that you're interested, go ahead and send them the link and invite them to join us for one of these. And this might be the little nudge that they would need to see what we're about and to join, because obviously that's what we're about. We're trying to reach as many souls as we can and bring them into this beautiful community fold. So until next time, may you walk with clarity and alignment and courage, knowing that your purpose is already within you. Next week, we're going to be talking about your gifts and how to identify your gifts a little bit more clearly. So this will continue to keep expanding and unfolding. And again, I hope you guys can join us in the 1111 frequency shift this week, where we're going to be focusing on our energetic blueprint, our soul's blueprint. All right. Bye, guys. Love you. Have a great rest of your day.